Hi, this is Leena Prabhu, your life transformation strategist and super life navigator. Welcome to another episode of Mid Talks, my inner direction talks, where I bring to you the best practices from people who I feel have mastered the skills of their life and who can navigate their life skillfully to live life successfully. My special guest today is Mr. Mehul Kuwadia. Hi, Mehul.
Hi,
Welcome to Mid Talks.
thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you here.
Same here.
Mr. Kuwadia is CEO of Grey Cells, and he has been in this HR business for the last 30 years. He has won many accolades, and my team from Mid Talks congratulates you.
Thank you so much.
Let Mr. Kuwadia himself say a little bit about himself. So,
Th-
tell me what's been happening with you.
Uh, I would say, do ask me a question, what's not happening with me?
Okay.
I guess a whole lot of things are happening. We are into consulting, training, psychometric assessments. Recently, we have signed up with the Government of India for the Skill India mission.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. And we also got permission to publish an HR magazine, which should come up in about 3 to 4 months' time.
Oh, great.
So quite hectic, and a few thoughts that I have should bring in some HR disruption.
That's wonderful. We are looking forward to all these disruptions from you.
Thank you.
Besides work, Mehul, I would like to know you as a person. You have done so much work in the HR industry, but as a person, tell me where do you get your inner strength from?
Basically, I get my inner strength from the value system that we have,
Okay.
that I have, and a very strong desire to give back to the society, to do things, to discover and keep on rediscovering self.
Okay.
Through a lot of introspection is where I actually come from, and that what keeps me going on.
Okay.
Yeah, people say that, like you are saying, people also say that where do you get all this energy from? I work with 11 different NGOs and professional organizations and
Okay.
associations
Okay.
and trade associations.
Okay.
Yeah, and apart from that, of course, I have my own organization. So, yes, people do wonder where do I get it from. But I guess God is great.
Yes, God is great. So you believe in God.
I very strongly believe in God, though I am not religious in terms of following steps and processes. But yes, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a God-fearing person. More than God-fearing, I trust in God a lot.
Okay.
And I have had a few experiences which tells me yes, God is around and is taking care of me.
Right. So, when you introspect, in what way do you start your introspection, or what is it that tells you, okay, now I have to introspect on this particular subject?
So, Leena, there are two things which happens. I would say one is I have a very strong intuition.
Okay.
So there is a very strong inner voice. So that is how when I branched out, I was a very successful person in my career.
Okay.
I passed out in 1985. Until 1995, I worked in the industry and I had a very fast track career.
Okay.
By 83, I was already a GM. In those days, becoming a GM in 8 years' time was unheard of. So I had a
Okay.
very fast track career. And by 95, I started thinking that, I mean, now what? What next? Because I still have so many years in my career and I've already reached the top.
Okay.
Okay, and that is where I think there was an inner urge, an inner calling or intuition that there is a space which is train the trainer space, and that is where I could really branch out. So,
Do you do anything to heighten your intuition or to hone in your intuition?
yeah, so I do meditation, but not the way probably people do it, as to get up in the morning or so.
Okay.
But I have experienced profound light, and because of that, I can do something which people cannot do. I can raise my hair, goosebumps as you call it, on my wish.
Really?
Yeah,
My God, that's something incredible.
yeah, I can do that anytime I wish.
Okay.
Though I don't keep on talking about it or keep on demonstrating it, because I personally believe it's a gift of God. It's an energy which I've got it from God. So in my childhood, maybe from the age of 12 years or so, I got into, I won't say spiritualism, but I got into astrology, palmistry. Okay, and
You got into, as in you started studying
I
it?
started studying it. I have a
Okay.
diploma in astrology and palmistry from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
But from the age of 12, I got interested, and so that word astrology in Hindi or Marathi, it is called Jyotish.
Yeah.
So it is Jyoti of Ish.
Okay.
Jyotish are two words. So Jyoti is the light,
Light.
light of God.
Okay.
Okay. So when I understood that, and that time probably I was only 14 or 15 years, I it gave me totally different insight. I never wanted to be a professional astrologer, but it was my calling probably,
Okay.
internal calling which happened. And from there on, my journey into discovering myself started. My grandfather played a very strong role in that. I used to be friends with my grandfather.
Okay.
So if I don't spend half an hour, 45 minutes every day talking to him about life and things, I was not settled. It was like that.
Okay.
And he talked about meditation and the spiritual light and things like that. So and I strongly believed in it. So I started focusing on Om.
Om.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just lying down, and focusing and concentrating on Om, which went on for quite a long time. And when I was around 16, a very strange thing happened. I was focusing over here, and then suddenly I saw a lot of light,
Okay.
and I got scared, and I broke
It's,
that.
you had your eyes open or you were
Closed.
closed.
It was
Okay.
closed, and I was focusing over here, and suddenly I really saw a lot of light, and I thought, I don't know, I got very scared at that point of time. I was just 16. When I shared this with my grandfather, he said, "You should have continued."
Yeah, you opened your third eye basically.
I do not know that.
That is, yes.
I do not know that, but since that day onwards, I experienced that I can raise my hair whenever I want.
Okay. So you focus more on yourself when you're meditating, or you're focused outside, or what are your thoughts? What are you thinking when you're meditating?
So I don't think. I just focus on Om. I close my eyes.
You chant Om.
Yes,
Okay.
internally.
Okay.
Okay, and not in a sitting posture, but in a lying down posture. So
Okay.
kind of before going to sleep or so, and it's also not very regular, but you could say average twice a week or so, and that keeps on. It would go on for maybe 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever time. I've never calculated time like that.
Okay.
But I lie down still, and I just focus on Om, and I focus over here, third eye as you call it, and I don't think anything.
Okay.
I don't think anything. I just focus there, and I guess that's also. So there's no. I honestly speaking, Leena, there's no steps, so there's no process.
Okay.
It is just that focusing happens. I don't think anything, and I strongly believe that when you do that, you leave everything to your subconscious, and it keeps on working and finding out solutions and doing things for you,
I see.
which keeps on. That's where I get all this energy from, and then, yeah, a whole lot of thoughts after that. Or next day morning, I get so many times I get solutions to problems, and believe me, they have good solutions.
Okay. So you are in HR where you have to deal with a number of people, and every person is different. So, what do you use this, your spiritual quotient or emotional quotient? What is it that you utilize to deal with so many people?
So, like I shared with you, I have intuition. So, when I meet a person, on its own or whatever, I kind of understand what that person is.
Okay, just by looking at the person.
Not by look. So when I interact, talk a little. So let's say if we meet for the first time, and we chat a little bit, and we talk a little bit, maybe for a few minutes, you get a hunch as to what kind of person he or she is, And so that is one definitely which helps me to deal with the people. Second, of course, with my background in psychology and phenomenal understanding of body postures and gestures, body language as we call it, that helps me to to understand how this person is,
Okay.
and how does one deal with this person.
Okay.
Okay. And third, definitely being a soft skills trainer myself. So every time I train people, I'm retraining myself.
Uh-huh.
So probably all the principles of soft skills, I have been repeating or telling myself since now almost 25, 30 years.
Okay.
So that's the kind of repetition which happens. So when you're training people, so an internal thought comes to your mind that, oh, I'm telling them, but I'm not doing it.
Hmm.
Or maybe yesterday this was the situation and I should have done this while I've been training people and I'm not doing it.
Okay.
And that helps me keep on improving. So that's what I call is my, I don't know what you would be calling it, but the inner voice or the
Inner
thing.
compass. Your inner compass is directing you in the direction
Yes,
that your life has to go in.
yes, yes.
So what do you have to say that you do a lot of testing, the psychological testing, and plus you are intuitive and you have some things inborn. So which is more important, the psychological testing which has been like coming down to us from the science field, or the intuition which is inbuilt?
I would say, very good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good question, I
Yeah.
must say. Uh, Never thought like that, but now you're asking me, I think uh, having the intuitive ability or the gift of the God. So, like I shared with you, I've done diploma in astrology and palmistry. So many times I predict for people, and it comes out to be very true. And people ask me that, how did you, or the other person is himself an astrologer or a palmist, he says, how did you find out from here? So I say, look here, I don't really know how I found out, but I looked at it and there was something inner.
You read a chart?
Yeah, I do read chart,
Okay.
and there was an inner voice, and some calculations may have happened in my subconscious, and this is how I predicted.
Okay.
So, so why I gave that example was primarily I believe that having the ability or the intuitive power is the foundation,
Okay.
is the base. So if one doesn't have the base, one probably cannot build on it.
Okay.
So because I have that God-given gift and the base with me, uh, the knowledge of psychology and the skill
Hmm.
of interpreting psychometric reports,
Hmm.
comes out to be much better
Okay.
because of that foundation.
Okay.
So if somebody wouldn't have that intuitive ability, maybe he can predict like so many others who are in HR who do that, but may not be able to predict so deeply or so very well
Okay.
as I am able to do. So I think the base is having the intuitive ability and supported by knowledge and practice and skill
Okay.
which one has. So these three are very important.
So one thing I would like to share with you is, years ago I was not believing in astrology. Whatever anybody predicted, I would be like, I'm going to do exactly the opposite because that is what I want to do, and I don't want to do what has been predicted. So there used to be all the time this struggle between me and astrology, and one fine day I learned a very good lesson in life. And that lesson told me that astrology exists and it is real and it is a science. And you have to follow it. There may be variations, pros and cons, permutation and combinations. But the day I started believing in astrology, I stopped showing my hand to anyone.
Oh,
I stopped showing my card to anyone. I said, I don't want to know what's going to happen in the future. And I just kept on making myself stronger to deal with whatever is going to happen in the future. So that's a trivia from my end.
hmm.
So, tell me something. If you have to tell my audience, give them tips on how to live a better life, or how to handle people around them, or how to handle themselves, what would you say to them?
I would say first is definitely believe in yourself, Now, when you say believe in yourself, it's not just that proclaiming I can do it or I am a great guy, or it doesn't mean that. It means, I basically mean that you need to explore, you need to understand yourself, you need to ask yourself these questions. I'm very lucky that in a young age, at about 14, 16, 18, I went through this process which actually helped shape my personality, and which develop that kind of confidence one requires. So first is definitely explore yourself, find out, evaluate the difference between what I like to do and what I can do based on the strengths which God has given me, based on the personality which God has given me, based on probably some of the gifts, because everybody has some gift. I very strongly believe.
True.
Uh, Probably what happens is I get more attracted with your gift, the way you are gifted by God, and keep on thinking that why I don't have that, and keep on discarding the gift that I have.
Or not knowing also what gift you
Many
have.
many times not knowing also. But the fact is that every person, would have a set of people who appreciate him or her, and a set of people who would keep on criticizing. The very fact that there are a set of people who appreciate you, which means you have that. So
You have some quality which
some,
is
yes,
good.
which is good. So ask that why are these set of people who are appreciating you. So those are probably the strengths which are given. Those are the natural gift the God has given you. Ask yourself this question, which I used to do, is why there are a set of people who probably don't give you the kind of response you are looking forward to. Okay, so what went wrong? By blaming another person, you are always telling yourself that I'm fine, I'm perfect. But when you choose to blame yourself, say something might be wrong with me, that is why this person is not interacting the way I'm expecting, or I'm doing my best, but I'm still not getting the response. That that provokes you to find what is not right, what needs to be improved, what needs to be done, and work on that. So first, definitely is believe in yourself. Know what are your strengths, weaknesses, or know what are your qualities. Second, evaluate or be clear about the difference between what you can do and what you like to do.
Okay.
So I find today, there are so many youngsters, including my children, they're confused about their career.
Okay.
For 30 years ago, it was very simple: art, science, or commerce. And if you take science, then either is a doctor or engineer.
Right.
So there are just about 8, 10 careers, and you have to choose from. Today there are probably 3,000 different careers
Right.
which are there, and because of the liberty that parents give to children. So previously it would be like father would say, no, you will do BCom and you will do BCom.
Right.
But today there is a liberty given to children, so they are more confused. And in the process, many times they tend to choose a career which they like to do, but may not have the potential to do it.
Right.
So develop your potential, identify what you can do. What you like to do can always become your hobby. Like I like to do a lot of social work. And I also have a diploma in dramatics, so I like to act on, which I've done on stage and all that. But I realized that you can't make a career out of it.
Okay.
Today you have 200 channels, but when I was a youngster, we had only Doordarshan 1 and Doordarshan 2.
Right.
And you just couldn't make a career out of it.
Right.
So I said, yes, this is what I like, but I can't make a career out of it. The career I can make out of similar thing, which is similar to acting or psychology, is human resource.
Okay.
And that is how I went into that.
Okay, I would never have found a similarity between these three, but you found a similarity.
Yes, I found.
The other major important thing I see in your upbringing is your grandfather, who put you on the path to spirituality.
Yes.
And these days, we don't want to listen to our elders. We want to do our own thing. We want to negate what the older generation is trying to tell us. But these are the wisdom. This is the wisdom which they have been carrying on, and people have lived through their lives, and that's why they're telling you that do this or don't do that. And youngsters should listen. You might not accept it,
But consider.
but at least consider and not negate completely. So, getting to know you.
I must say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I must say that Apart from my grandfather, my father also had a strong influence. So
Okay.
both of them were different personalities.
Okay.
My grandfather got me into spirituality, and my father, the way he trained me and way he, developed me, uh, he got me into practical ways of thinking,
Okay.
being more realistic, being more logical, and being more data based.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that became a
That
very
was a great combination. That
yes,
so you got the spiritual world and you got the this earthly world
yes,
also,
yes,
and how to deal with it.
yes, yeah.
So I think we've got a lot of tips from Mehul, and these would be very important for you. I hope you listen and develop yourself along the lines that he has suggested. Mehul, tell me, if you have read my book. It is a big book and it talks a lot about what you have said. And I would like to, now it's become Amazon #1
Yes,
bestseller.
yes.
So I would like to present it to you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming here and sharing your wisdom with us.
My pleasure.